Let's talk about vegetables. If you work with me, one of the very first things I will challenge you to do is to start eating vegetables on a consistent basis. People usually struggle with eating vegetables because they take time. It's not a quick pour from a box and boom, they're ready. Usually they require a little bit of washing or cutting or prep work of some sort. The challenging part is if we consistently look to eat fast, cheap, and easy, we might start to feel not so great inside. Taking the time to prep vegetables is a game changer for many people. Vegetables include a whole array of the rainbow. Oftentimes, greens get all the glory. I like to say that greens get the glory. They really do. We think the vegetables mean green. Well, actually, we're missing out then on all of the vegetables that are white, like mushrooms, onions, cauliflower. Things that are purple, like eggplant or turnip potentially, or purple peppers. We don't see those as often, but you will see them kicking around. Purple asparagus, purple carrots, you see those a little bit here and there. Things that are orange, like pumpkin, orange peppers, butternut squash. We go into the red vegetables, things like beets. We've got tomatoes, red peppers, red cabbage, radishes, tomatoes. I can't remember if I said that. Red onions. Then we move into the greens. That's where we start to hit things like spinach, kale, celery, cucumbers, cabbage, broccoli. Let's toss in all the different types of lettuce, and it goes on. Again, you work with me, you get a really great visual that shows you all of the varieties of vegetables in rainbow form, which I love. When it comes to vegetables, we want to think about portion size, and we start with the fist. The amount of vegetables that would fit in your fist is roughly 1 serving of vegetables. Again, for men and women, we shoot for starting with 1 to 2 servings of vegetables per meal on a daily basis. So for instance, say you're a woman, and we're going to start with targeting to shoot for 3 servings of vegetables a day. That would be 1 serving per meal. Now, some people might struggle to initially put vegetables in at breakfast. I get that. That's okay. Let's shoot for lunch and dinner, which means we may need to have about 1.5 servings at lunch and dinner to make up 3. So we'd have roughly 1.5 fistfuls of vegetables at lunch, 1.5 fistfuls at dinner, and boom, presto, we've got our 3 servings of vegetables for the day. I can tell you, this alone, incorporating 3 to 6 servings of vegetables, whether you're a male or female, in your daily diet is one of the largest game changers for all of my clients. When this starts to click in, not only do they feel better, but they start to accomplish their goals better. And oftentimes when people feel off kilter, it's because they're not eating enough vegetables. So as much as you would like to say, well, I don't like vegetables, well, I like to point out that sometimes that's a real privilege. We live in a country where food is in excess oftentimes, not to all people, but to many of us. And I often explain to my kids that in our house, we don't actually use the word I don't like around food. Because I said if you would actually be truly hungry, you would eat whatever came in front of you. I said we actually live in a place where we have the privilege to be able to choose food that we prefer. So you can say that you don't prefer that food, but if you were in dire straits, you sure would eat it. So when it comes to vegetables and people give me the excuse that they don't like vegetables, I usually push back and I say, okay, I hear you, but what are you going to do then to try vegetables in a different light? That might be in what vegetables you're eating. It might be in how you prepare them and what sources you're taking them from. Are they from fresh produce? Is it from frozen? Is it from canned? Frozen and canned vegetables get a bad rap, but that is false. Oftentimes, canned and frozen vegetables actually have a higher nutritional content because they're frozen or canned at the peak of their ripeness, at their peak nutritional value. From there, produce, if it's picked unripe and then shipped, its nutritional value can actually decline, believe it or not. So don't think negatively around buying produce or vegetables that come from a can. You're looking for things that are packaged in not as much salt or sugar. Okay, looking for things that are packaged in water, ideally. But those frozen vegetables as well. I always keep frozen vegetables in my freezer. I always keep canned vegetables in my cupboard. And when I'm struggling and making a meal, then I'm using those things. Or I use up some of my fresh produce through the start of the week, right after I've gotten groceries. And then from there, I start to tap into the canned or frozen vegetables until I can get groceries again the next time. There are so many strategies around eating vegetables. And again, I'd love the opportunity to work with you, or you're already working with me, and you're going to continue to learn some tips on how do we start to put vegetables into our day. And again, we're shooting for 1 to 2 servings per meal of our fist, roughly 3/4 of a cup to 1 cup. Okay. If you have comments about vegetables, post them in the comments, and hopefully I'll be able to answer. Till next time.